How clear is this? Holy cow.
He's got the ice has wiped his camera. So welcome back, guys. 29th of April. We're here on the Show and Go. Got the Jordan doco on Monday night. I know we all watched it. Ice, mate, those mystery boxes, man, you're onto something. What's doing? Everyone's going crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It was one of those things that sort of just work out perfectly. Obviously, you've been dealing with it behind the scenes for the past 2 weeks, and we've been talking about it for a while. And I was just kind of busy last week, so I didn't really want to launch it. Then we sort of just launched it Monday.
I saw you with the box. What was in the box? What's in the box?
And notoriously Monday is probably not the best time to drop stuff. And they just went, woof, gone, like within an hour without any promotion behind it. And then sort of the next day, it was just sort of like went again at lunchtime yesterday, gone in a minute, went again last night, and then gone in 7 minutes. So it was just crazy. It's crazy. I haven't seen anything like it from YKTR standpoint, but I think it taps into sort of the Aussie mentality or Kiwi mentality of blokes that just love to have a punt.
Punters don't want winners. The punters aren't in it, but the punters aren't in it at this stage now to get winners.
$100. So we all done like the spin on it. It was like the most fun, like 3 minutes. And like I said, it sort of taps into the psychology of gambling and guys and like just want to win something that no one else has got. So it was a bit of fun.
Yeah, Jackson, mate, do you cop yourself a box or?
Nah, I was sniffing around, but too quick for me. The vintage kit model. It's a great idea, man.
He's got that written down, ready to say that.
It's just smart, man. Like you see what you can do with just a little bit of, that was the marketing there was you with a Vivid on a cardboard box writing something and knocking up a 2-minute vlog. Like, fuck, if you do that again, and you can make the boxes bigger and better, you can build amazing content around it, get the boys, vlog the boys, filling them all up. So smart idea. Man.
I think that's a strategy. I think like a smart business person will figure out how to do this again and replicate it and scale it. So that'll be me in the next couple of days when I'm going on my walks. I'll be thinking about it.
Locked into the boxer as well. It's sorry guys. We all watched The Last Dance on Monday night. Another mad 2 episodes. I felt like the first one was definitely the Rodman episode. The second one was more on the coach. What's his name? How good am I today? Phil Jackson, that's the one. Rodman, man, what a loose unit, hey. I did watch, I think you said last week I used to watch the 30 for 30. I hadn't seen it. So it sort of spoiled it for me because I watched that on Sunday night. And then that first hour was just like a condensed version. Obviously, it was more tied back to Jordan, the Last Dance episode, but he's just a nut job, man. And the way he rebounds, that was crazy. Like he's got his mates chucking up just in the gym, throwing up, and he's just going, all right, goes that way, goes that way, goes that way. It was awesome. What do you think, Jackson?
The thing with, sorry. I'll go. So, and the thing with that is, like, he was actually like in college, and even though he wasn't even meant to go to college, the division that he was playing in, he was actually putting up like high numbers in terms of scoring. So sort of to take that backseat and sort of take up that role was kind of like, even though he was outgoing and loved the attention and all that sort of stuff, and at the same time hated the attention, he was willing to do the stuff that mattered towards the team. And they didn't really have that. Like, I associated him kind of like Draymond, where they've got their 2 fucking superstars that can fucking score and pretty much 2 of the best shooters in the comp, but they just need that someone there that sort of can direct them and guide them on the defense side and gives them a bit of mungle, gives them a bit of cunt. If you fuck with them, you got to fuck with Rodman and stuff as well. But in terms of lifestyle imparting, some people are like that. And I was at a wedding, Clint Newton's wedding, RRPA leader at the moment. And I was sitting next to Joey, and Michael Hagan was there, and he was the coach in 2001 when the Knights won. And because I love
for reminding me.
Shitty Barra.
That's what that serious.
and because I love the Knights and that so much, I started speaking to Michael Hagan while I was at the wedding. I was like, oh, Joey. And one thing he said to me, he goes, people always go to me, imagine how good Joey would have been if he could just focus purely on football and didn't worry about that. Then Michael Hagan goes, fuck, I think he's the opposite. I feel like he needed that outlet, needed to go out. And there's certain players that can actually balance that sort of lifestyle and still perform. Like Corey, that time when he would have got 2016 Dally M, like he was going out every weekend, but just performing at the same time. So some people can do it, some people can't, but obviously it's looked down upon in terms of social media these days. You can't really do shit anymore, can you?
Yeah, they'll get you. Jackson, what did you take away?
Same thing. It's kind of the John Jones effect as well. Like when John's on top of the world, smoking everyone in the first round, he's out, cocaine and hookers till 4 a.m., no training. And then when he tries to go full, pristine clean mode, he fights OSP and has a bit of a boring performance. Like some guys, that's just the way they are. Like some of us need to be there at 6 a.m. to do our stretching, full Sonny Bill model. I don't know why I said some of us then. Some people need that Sonny Bill model.
Guilty.
And other people like to go out and have a beer and be out a bit later and sort of crawl into training. Like, it's just the way they work. The thing with Rodman, which like tripped me out the most, was I always thought that he was just that. I thought he was just a party animal who, you know, played with, you know, throwing elbows, ripping down boards, but he was fucking into it. Like, watching him study film, and he studies, you know, when Magic shoots the ball, he's got this much spin on it. Larry, it always pings this way. Like, he had all these, like, he was a bit of a geek at the game, which I never really knew about him. And that's what these docos can kind of do. They give you this other perspective on people. So it was sick. The 48 hours in Vegas. Imagine an NRL player trying to pull that these days. It'd be
How good's
sick.
Carmen Electra looking these days? She's still got it.
She's always been a good sort, though.
Yeah.
You guys are right. What about the if you had to say, other than Normy, who'd be the Rodman of the NRL, you reckon?
Oh,
Drop someone in it.
I don't think there's any more anymore. Or do you got someone in mind that you
I
can
don't
think
know.
of?
I don't got no one in mind, mate.
Nah, that model's changing, I reckon. We even talk about it. So how the boys spend their off season now. Like, some of them will spend up like training, and like they'll spend 5 weeks of it training. Where like back in, sound fucking old here, but back in our day, like you'd be like, I remember one off season, I went from Bali to Texas to New York to LA to like back to Bali, and then like that was like 6 to 8 weeks gone. And then you roll into training. I think that model's gone now. Like, I think these kids are a lot more professional. I think they see a lot more money in the game. So I don't think it's happening anymore, to be honest, bro.
Lame.
Have a go at this. So Rodman was the leader for rebounds for like 7 years straight. I think I heard another podcast talking about. So his rebound numbers, where have I got that there? So he's averaging per season 15 in 98, 97, 16.1, 14.9 per game.
Average.
And then the next person is like, they're at least like 4 rebounds below him. And he did that for like 7
who's like
straight.
a freak rebounder now? Does Rudy Gobert pull down all the balls?
Yeah, Rudy's good.
Yeah.
There's heaps. Like, anyone that's over 7'1" should be able to get a few of them.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's super impressive about him.
Rebounds.
I think that was super impressive about him, because he's like, even though he had like given up that much height, he just kept jumping up. It was just out of reach every time. It's like ping, ping, ping. Fuck, it's annoying.
Rodman had the swaggiest rebound as well. Like the way it sort of like comes up, his foot's going everywhere, and he just sort of looks around and then just the one-handed pass.
Yeah.
The thing that was super impressive that I liked about that sort of episode was Scottie Pippen and lockdown D. Once he come back and he was sort of locking up Magic and that, not giving away fouls.
Footage, eh?
Yeah, he was fucking body on body. Like, it was mad. And it's obviously Magic's magic, man. Fuck, he's got the silkiest hands in the comp, and then couldn't even get past him.
What about Jordan?
Fuck.
What about Jordan when they handed him the iPad of the Pistons talking about not handshaking, and before he'd even got it in his hand, just that hate just comes straight out. I fucking love that.
I know what he's going to say.
Yeah, he just holds it to this day.
Isaiah Thomas made up a good point. Even though everyone's giving praise to Jordan right now, he basically said, imagine if KD and LeBron were in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck that. They'll dominate as well.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing, because we always tend to put the past up on the pedestal, and obviously like watching these docos, it's great in that. But just imagine KD in that, because you look at Jordan play, and he's playing against the Pistons and they're bad boys, and they got the Jordan rules. And once he goes into the paint, fucking KD didn't even need to go to the paint. He'll pull up from halfway. Like, that's the thing. Like, imagine Curry. Like, imagine Curry in that sort of time. Or
they wouldn't know what's going on.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
There's no Jordan. You can't take someone down if they're not going to the rim. So when you look at it from a standpoint in hindsight, you wonder why Jordan didn't really try to adapt. You know, because he was pretty much half post, take you on, try and jump over you.
It took him a while.
Package. It took him.
Yeah, he wasn't even the footage of him. He's like, I don't want to do triangle offense. What, you want me to give the ball to some other muppet? Like, fuck that. I'll give me the ball. I'm the player.
That poor bloke's in there home going,
oh, fuck, he thought Jordan rated him his whole time. Even Jordan.
Jordan would have told him to his face.
Yeah, Steve Kerr was just open in the corner that many times, just waiting for the ball. The thing with Jordan, like, you say, you wonder why he didn't adjust, but he had so many tools in his kit that style of defense that the refs allowed back then, even if you were Steph pulling up from half court, you're allowed a hand check. So people would just body up on your half court, and they'll be knocking on the ground back there. So it's like, it's the old thing, would Joey still dominate the game today? I'm sure he would, but with the structures in place now that kind of negate that, he'd have to find a new way to do it. So the game just evolves every year, every season, every game. So I loved watching him play. I loved, seeing that growth and that competitive thing, but the pettiness to like still be pissed off to this day, although it was like good TV in terms of like sportsmanship and all that. Like you watch Isaiah now, Isaiah's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, the year before the Celtics didn't shake his hand. He's like, I didn't give a shit, but whatever. He's a petty guy. So I suppose that's what makes him so great.
I love it. The NRL came out last night, boys. We're back. We've got 20 rounds ahead of us from the 28th of May. The 2 rounds that they play will count. They got to figure out how they do the draw, so that'll come out in the next couple of days. This is topic I think is on every show and go, but it's a bit more news around it. Ice, you've chatted to some of the boys. How are they feeling about playing a bit of footy?
Yeah, I think everyone's sort of like, not just footy players, but everyone in society is just half over this sort of not knowing when it's going to happen. So it's good to have a date. Good to have like and format sort of laid out. So it's got something towards to work to. Like, I'm still a little bit skeptical if it is all going to go ahead and stuff like that. Did you guys end up checking out that Paul Kent versus Clint Newton?
No, I didn't click on it. Was it good?
So funny. Yeah. So Nudo loves being in these types of debates and that.
Yeah.
But Paul Kent just try to keep like talking louder and louder and louder, just trying to get a rise out of him, and he just never broke. Fucking so funny. And he goes, he's just like, mate, you don't have to keep raising your voice to make your point. Like, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so embarrassing when someone says that, eh?
Yeah, bro. Because if you listen to it by Paul Kent, like Nudo will be trying to explain his point, and then Paul Kent's just getting angrier and angrier and angrier, and it's like. It's almost like when a kid's like railing up and the parent just goes, hey, calm down. It's almost like that. But yeah, I'm stoked all this is sort of going ahead. I think they go back to training next week.
It would be. Yeah, fuck. It's nearly.
Yeah, May the 4th.
This fuck quick, man. Every second month has gone slow, and then the next month flies. So
yes, Jackson, it should be good to fucking all the boys to go into training pretty soon. And I think once they get back into a training and you start to see a little bit of media around them actually training, then leading into a game, I feel like it'd be a little bit more real. But right now, it doesn't feel too real.
Yeah, Jackson, your Warriors boys, I think they're going to Tamworth. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. They've got clearance to come into Aussie, which is sweet. They're just waiting on the tick from the Sydney Council, government, whatever, to allow them to train together in quarantine. Because at the moment, they're sweet to go, but they have to spend 14 days isolating at the hotel separately. So that would mean that teams like the Dragons and Panthers can start training when the Warriors have to sit in their hotel rooms not training. So, and God knows they need it. So, that's the last little thing that'll probably get ticked off today or tomorrow, and they'll be on a plane this weekend. And I think for me, obviously I'm very biased when it comes to my beloved Warriors, but once they're on the ground and allowed to train, and like I said, the boys are actually running around playing footy again, and you see vision of them, with the bibs training kit, that like then we'll be like, okay, sweet, footy's back. But it's through no fault of the NRL, no fault of their own, but to win a comp this year, like if you had to pick a year that you want to win a comp, and you're a team, it's just going to feel fucking weird. You've had a big break in the middle. There's going to be probably no fans there, even right up until grand final. Maybe by then we have some fans seating, the NHL talking about seating guys 2 seats apart, but even that'll be weird. Point?
Like, you're still walking past people to your seat. Though.
I have no idea, but
I read pubs and clubs in New South Wales are looking at doing like temperature tests before they let people in, because they just obviously the pubs are struggling hard at the moment, so they're doing temperature check.
Pubs shut at like 3 p.m. anyway, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. May 28th. I still think just until the Warriors are there and are allowed to train, I think it's still optimistic. The week after, we should be away. I'm working today. The phone's not going, so I have no idea whether they've got the ticket yet or not. But they should get it sometime today or tomorrow, and we'll be away.
When was what's it been, like 4 or 5 weeks? How rusty can the boys realistically be, Ice? Like, especially if you're a Warriors, you realistically couldn't train until probably like let's say they fly over now. I'm just looking at the calendar. It's like the week of the 18th could be the first time. And that only leaves a week and a half before the season kicks off. If they've got to do yeah,
they'll be fine. Yeah, obviously, like they've got this massive base. Like a lot of them, like they talk about training years when you're there. So obviously, when you're a little bit older and you've been in the system for like 7 years, you've got 7 years of like base block of training that you can sort of tap into. It's like someone that's musty that loses, like puts on a bit of weight. They can usually get back to being kind of musty a lot quicker than just your average Joe because they've got their training base behind them. So I don't see it being too much of an issue. I think like it's almost like when you train 16 weeks for a preseason, you go to round one, you're fucked anyway. So even though these guys are going to be in hotels, I know what trainers are like. They're fucking screwed in the head, and they'll be like, "Oh fuck, let's do fucking jump burpees onto the bed and like 1,000 squats in the room." So they won't be letting anything slide. They'll be obviously trying to operate within the rules and within the law. But yeah, they'll be fine. But I think it's going to be. There's going to be an element of adrenaline rush when they do start playing again. But then obviously after 50 minutes, like adrenaline only lasts like so long, you know what I mean? So it might be a diluted form of football, but I think everyone's just going to be grateful that it's back, to be honest.
Well, just on that as well. Sorry, on that as well. Like I do always talk about the Warriors, but like they're going to be at no more disadvantage than everyone else in terms of like match fitness. Everyone's been training at home. Guys like Adam Blair and that, like you talk about experience, like they've done 1 million preseasons. They're going to be sweet. Whether they have to have 2 weeks less of training or not, it's going to be an easy little thing for us to write about and say that's why they're getting pumped. But it's it's not going to be a giant disadvantage.
He's already planting the seed now. Look at him, Ice. He's already thinking of his articles.
They should have scrapped that first 2 rounds. That's all I'm saying. But
I agree. I agree.
Really?
Yeah.
Different.
I support Newcastle, and we're up 4 points. I actually agree.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, two boys who have been going at it is your mate Normy and the Scope out on Cronulla Sand Dunes, giving each other a whack, trying to get a spot on the undercard. What a video, man.
Yeah. Obviously, like Scopes, he's one of the people that have transitioned into retirement football very, very easily. And one of the reasons he's done it so well is actually he loves to train and he loves to do stuff.
Yeah, he's always running and doing shit like that, triathlons.
Like he sets himself a goal and he'll actually go for it. And that's one of the great things about the Scope. Like, he's like, once he's got something in his mind, he'll work on it sort of every single day. I think him living with Corey, they've got a nice sort of balance there. Like, everyone knows Corey loves a bear and loves chasing girls and all this sort of stuff. But then sometimes it's like, because Corey's so naturally fit, he can rock up to training and still be up the front and stuff. But I think just having Scope there in the morning and them two like doing sand dunes maybe 2-3 times a week and even stuff like that, boxing stuff like that, I think it's going to be really good for Corey, to be honest. Yeah,
you should look at that brand, Box Raw.
What are they?
It's a UK-based boxing apparel brand, but they make one of my best hoodies is a Box Raw hoodie. It's got these like cool things where on your hand it's sewed in, so your thumb comes out of it as well, sort of like a hand wrap.
Used to bite the old school uniform and create those.
Yeah, exactly. So these guys, but like material-wise, colors-wise, they've always been super cool. And
what was Corey in? Was he in like a sweat jacket?
Yeah, it's one of those sweat jacket things where they're tied around the waist and you're just sweating your ring out as you're training. But yeah, my hand wraps, so I always used to buy all of them for them. They're sick. So
my hand wraps. What are you talking about? Did you throw them, do you?
Man, yeah, he's had a
few fights, bro.
No, he hasn't.
1-0, mate. Same record as Floyd, undefeated.
Is there footage or not?
There is. No, everyone's going to search it now. The whole thing's on YouTube. It's a dud, man. It was my first. Yeah, I fought a bloke that was like, well, most people are, but a couple foot bigger than me, and yeah, one of those corporate fight night events. So.
Oh, we'll get him to send you the photo, mate. He walks out. He's got this photo and his arms are like that, and he's got a fucking beast mode across his.
I think I posted it. Yeah,
I was going fucking take that shit off now.
No way.
Careful who you're talking to, bro.
What do we reckon then? Who throws him better, Hoz or Normy?
But I've seen Normy throw him, and like Normy throws him all right.
It looked a little bit natural, Like
yeah, and obviously
we had to feel his shell. He's standing there behind his shoulder like this, just going like this.
That's the shit thing about Normy. He's like naturally good at like a lot of different things, like fucking skateboard and like he just can do a bit of everything. You know what I mean? But like I think he can actually throw him all right. So like obviously you've seen him and Chico have a fight, and he's won.
Yeah, Chico's having chills watching that video, or nah?
Nah, Chico tried to blind shot him. So, but then like apparently the boys out, but the Bronx they're all having a few beers one time, and they're all having a few beers, and Normie jumped in with someone. I think it might have been Josh Hoffman. Fucking just picked him apart.
He rates himself as well, Hoffy.
Yeah, he started getting angrier and angrier, started swinging him, and then apparently Jarrell and Din and Kemp jumped in the ring as well, and Kempy got flogged.
Of course he did.
You know, Kempy gets around like he can throw him now. He was getting flogged from Jarrell.
Yeah, Kempy's down at Bondi Boxing Club putting in work these days. So we'll move to the next one. YKTR's favourite family, the Ball brothers. They've all jumped in with Jay-Z and Roc Nation. How good? Is this Lonzo's rap career, man? If he's linking, he could have a feature soon. You never know.
I don't know. I didn't see it coming. Like, obviously, when you see like Roc Nation, and you kind of go after all the big dogs, and then I don't know. They must see them in like branding potential.
Well, I'll tell you what happened because I've read into it. So the guy that they used to be repped by at a company called CAA, he's now moved to the Knicks in like a recruitment role or whatever. They lost their manager basically. So they've obviously been just shopping around, and Jay-Z's put together this package for them, and he sort of fits. They do fit the Roc Nation vibe, that new wave. You see the players that they've signed already on their roster. They've got all the entertainment talent as well. Just the way, if you go on their website, it's like it feels like Vayner talent, like the way that they've built it up. It's very, very, very similar.
And
So
CAA run a bunch of like sort of that new wave celebrity and athlete as well. They've got a bunch of guys you'd recognise on the books as well. Or heaps of young MMA fighters as well.
Yeah,
I think when Jay-Z comes knocking, you don't really say no, do you? It's like,
well,
sorry, you go.
The Knicks are a very good chance for that third pick, and if this Leon Rose guy, his old manager's there, it could mean he's going to the Knicks. You never know.
Yeah, that'd be mad. And obviously, I've seen lots of sort of talent, rumored to go that way. Brandon Ingram, Joel Embiid. I think the Knicks are kind of like as sad as it is to say, you need a couple teams that need to be good. So within league, you need the Roosters to be good. You need the Broncos to be good. You need the Rabbitohs to be good. You need Melbourne to be good because. And then, it sounds kind of sad, but all the other teams just kind of fill those sort of markets up. It's the same with NBA. Like, you need Boston to be good. You need Lakers to be good. Chicago to an extent. And then New York Knicks is the big one.
They're one of the biggest NBA franchises on a balance sheet, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think someone will probably correct me, but I think they're worth more. The franchise is worth more than the Lakers, which is just absurd.
Yeah, but you look at Wall Street, you look at New York, you look at the type of money that you just have the casual Knicks fan that's probably turning over fucking $4 or $5 million a year down on Wall Street and walking up to fucking Madison Square Garden on a Wednesday just to watch. So
the team get pumped.
Well, no, when I was looking into it yesterday to do the quick write up, Jay-Z's the head of creative, or he's got some role at Puma, so it could mean he's linking up with Gutho at Puma. How good?
Yeah, I remember when Guffo signed with Puma, he sort of messaged me. He's, hey, bro, fucking super sorry. Like, can't rock your stuff anymore. Like, I've signed with Puma. And I was like, oh, bro, that's mad. Same with Caleb. He's like, I'm about to do a 10-year deal with Nike. I was like, bro, don't fucking say sorry to me. That's fucking mad.
Go for your life.
I think the Melo to the Knicks as well, like, in terms of just drafting for need purely for basketball, it makes sense. Like, not only do you need a gun marketing guy that you can kind of hang your franchise on, but you want a young ascending point guard in a team that has no one. Like, they have is it Julius Randle bringing the ball up the floor? Like, they have the 4s and 5s dribbling up the court. They got no fucking clue. So get a point guard in there who can actually dish, and a couple of boys that can hit some shots. They might be away.
And they sound like a rough crowd, the New York Knicks as well. So you're going to be copying some criticism, but he's pretty much copped it his whole life. You know what I mean? Since he was 14, 15, obviously you got a dad like that. You're going to draw attention to you, and a lot of it's negative. And he'd just be so used to it, I reckon, by now.
And how good. LaMelo hitting threes from deep with Gary Vee going mental in the back. Just
that'd be a podcast I'll be tuning in. Fucking Melo and Gary Vee.
100. That'd be sick. All right, I reckon that's where we wrap it up, boys. We'll see you on Friday, guys. Thanks for listening.
No worries.